Using all my purple art supplies. Hi guys, it's Olivia and today I'm making artwork with all my purple art supplies. This challenge was going around last year I think, and I've already done this twice with my blue and pink art supplies, so I will link those videos down below if you want to check them out. Purple is my favorite color, so I decided to do that for today's video. I'm super excited. So first we are going to swatch out all these colors, cancel out the ones that aren't really purple, and keep the ones that are purple and just see what we have to work with. Okay, so I got my piece of paper. I might need to use a lot of these because there are a lot of supplies to swatch out, but first I'm going to start with the alcohol markers. Okay, so now moving on to my paint, I have some acrylic here, some gouache, and in these two pans I have watercolor. Okay, so here is all the swatches. I put X's on colors that I thought were a little too pink, like these two colors, and these two, and a few over here, and a few over here, and that one was too blue, just because I want to have like real, I want all my colors to be like real purple, so. Some of them are a little on the pinky side like this, but I think that still counts as purple. So I'm going to make an illustration with all these colors. So yeah, let's get on to that. So for this illustration, I drew a princess running through the forest because purple symbolizes royalty and I thought it would be a perfect fit. Now I know trees aren't purple and neither are most birds, but I thought it would be okay. I looked up a bunch of references for princess dresses and I came up with this one that comes with a cape because I thought a cape would not only look really cool but gives more room to color, gives more things to color. So I picked this cape. I really like how it looks on her, and I really like the design of the dress that I chose to draw. So right now, to outline the piece, I am doing it in a purple fine liner. It's actually a Copic multi-liner in the color lavender, and it is a size 0.5. I don't get to use this much because I don't really have a need to use purple fine liners, but this just gave the perfect opportunity with this piece. I really liked how this sketch turned out for the drawing. I haven't really done anything like this in a while with this background in the forest. So I really like how the sketch turned out, and I think the fine and the outlining turned out pretty good as well. For the dress I'm coloring right now, I'm using my Ohuhu markers. I am using R11 Mauve Shadow for the base color, P3 Pastel Violet for the first shading, and P4 or Lavender for the darker shading. Now, there were a lot of art supplies to use. Not only was it hard to use only purple, but also hard to try to incorporate all the different art supplies because there's so many different textures and the ways they react and work. So for this I actually use mixed media paper, so all the art supplies would work well. I usually actually use mixed media paper because I tend to think that works well for my art. So I think I did well trying to incorporate all the different colors and art supplies into this drawing. I try to think where the value should go, not only light and dark, but also some of the purples were more on the pink side and some were more on the blue side. So trying to place like not all the pink colors together, but trying to spread it out a little bit to make the composition of the piece look better. I also like the shading I did on the dress. I think it makes the curves look more dynamic and flowy and just makes it look more realistic. So again, I'm sorry that this video is late, but I had midterms. I had a few midterms last week and I had a few this week. So I've been studying a lot for that. I haven't really had time to film. But since my midterms are over, this week I will be able to post on schedule, or next week I'll be able to post on schedule, hopefully. And I was wondering, since I usually post on Wednesdays, do you like that I post on Wednesdays? Or would you rather me post on Friday or Monday or over the weekend? Comment down below what you think my schedule could be, because I am flexible and I can change to the time that you're most likely going to watch. So the color I'm using for the bottom of the dress and the belt there is P2 or light violet in my hoo-hoo marker. And for the shading, instead of an alcohol-based marker, I actually use a ink brush pen. It is the Caron Brush Marker Pro. I got this in a scroller box a few months back, and is in the color lilac. It didn't blend the best, of course, because it's not an alcohol-based marker, but I think the color looked really nice for shading, and it got the job done well enough. For this section of the skirt, I used my Winsor & Newton Pro marker in the color lilac, and for the kind of white, lighter areas of her cape, I used the color light violet from my Barrel Prismacolor markers. Instead of leaving this just white, I colored it in with this color, not only because I thought it would look nice with the blue, but also I just need more places. I try to make the drawing very detailed, so I would have more places to put more color and be able to use more of the art supplies. So for the actual cape, I'm using R13 or Clematis from the Ahuhu markers. Now this is more on the bluey side of purples, and I really like how it looks. It really stands out. Like, I wanted the cape to stand out because it's just a really nice part of the image that I really enjoy, so I'm happy that it's different. And it is like, it pops not only because it's darker, but also because it's like more bluer than the pinkish side of the dress. For the hair, I am using my dual tip design marker by Premier in the color Iris for the base color, and then my hoo-hoo marker in the color P5 Arburgen for the shading of the hair. Now for the hair, I just made it really dark, like this. I pretty sure it's like a real purple, but I don't really want the hair to be this color, but I kind of just needed to find like a place to put these markers, and I still think it looks fine. So for the skin, I'm using my watercolor. Also, do not mind that hand. It is the most atrocious thing I think I've ever drawn. Just ignore it. I can do better. Yeah, but other than that, for the skin, I was using watercolor. Now, when I ended up using it, it was a little pinker because I watered it down. So it was a purple when I swatched it, but when it got a little pinker, or when I watered it down, it got pinker. But I think it's still purpley enough, so I just watered it. So I used some watercolor on her skin. Now, I didn't color in the whole skin. I just used it for shading and blush in some areas. And then I went back in with that lilac ink brush pen for her lips. Now, I did also add some birds. I wasn't planning on first adding birds until I added that branch in front of her and then realized she needed to be looking at something. So I drew a little bird on there. It's not the best bird I've drawn, but I just need to add something. So I used my Crayola brush markers for that bird in the front. Now, they're dual tip, so when you were seeing me swatching them earlier, one side is a different color and has a brush, and one side is a bullet nib and has, a different color from the first color. So right now I am painting this tree with the color Prism Violent in my Liquitech Basic acrylic paint. And for the ones in the back, which I'm not doing now, but I will soon, I'm using Dioxide Purple in the same Liquitex Basic acrylics. Now, well, as you can see, I work a lot on these trees. Of course, they can be a lot more detailed, but I try not to use lots of white at the beginning. Because I thought, oh, it's not purple, but then I realized you can use black and white because those are just like neutral colors. They're not really color at all. So I added some white to add some texture. And it's a little harder when the color is purple and not like an actual tree color to go in with texture. So I tried my best to just give it a little texture, but I mostly left it basic and silhouette like. And I just try to add some texture on the main trees in the front. I think this painting process looks very satisfying on camera, and I don't think I've ever done a video where I painted with acrylics before, just a full acrylic illustration. So comment down below if you would like to see that, because I've been getting into painting landscapes, like ocean landscapes and things, and it's been really fun. So if you want to see a video of me trying that out, maybe doing a 3 like paint color challenge with acrylics and something, or just doing a normal background, normal painting in acrylics, comment down below. And right now I'm using some gouache, Master's Touch Gouache, which is a Hobby Lobby brand, in the color mauve. And I just watered this down so it's almost like watercolor, and yeah, just use it for the background. Now, I got gouache recently, and I really can't do a first impressions because I've been using it for a month. But if you want to see a video of me using gouache, what I think about it, using it for these few months, let me know. I really like it. It's like basically really opaque watercolor and really watered down acrylic, and it's really fun to use. So here I am adding in the white to the trees, just to add a little bit more texture to them because they're looking a little flat. So for the ground, I'm using my color pencils / watercolor pencils. Now that darker purple is an actual watercolor pencil, and the more pinkish purple actually isn't. But when I activate it with water, as you can see, the pinkish purple is actually blending in with the darker one. So that was nice. It gave a little more dimension. Then I used some more color pencils and my Crayola Super Tip markers to add in some grass textures. And I use another Crayola brush tip to add in the bird silhouettes to the background. Out of all the 3 that I've done, I think this is my favorite. I really like the drawing and the concept of it and the way I use the colors and the different tones. And of course, my drawings have been improving over the years, so I guess that's why. So again, I'll link that down below. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry for the little bit of a longer video, but I hope you enjoyed this artwork, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!